Sri Arjun Ram Meghwal ji, Srimati Meenakshi Lekhi ji, Mr. Monial Rabate, Director, Lou Abu Dhabi, and all the esteemed guests present here, all the officers and friends from media. At the outset, I extend a warm welcome and express my deepest gratitude to the Honorable Prime Minister for agreeing to inaugurate the first of its kind 3-day International Museum Expo. I also welcome all the delegates to this Expo, which is being organized as a part of the second phase of Azad Ka Amrit Mahotsav, India 75 years independent celebrations. Also, to celebrate the 47th International Museum Day on the 15th August 2022, Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji, in his Independence Day address to the nation from Red Fort, spoken about Panchpran. Panchpran means the 5 resolves to make our country a developed nation by 2047. The year we are going to celebrate our 100 years independent celebrations. One of the 5 resolutions that the Honorable Prime Minister appealed about is to take pride in our heritage. Honorable Prime Minister, sir, taking your vision forward and under your guidance, the Ministry of Culture is striving to promote and preserve our rich cultural heritage, both tangible and intangible. In the last 9 years, Government of India, under your visionary leadership, sir, is constantly working on the theme of Vikas Bhi or Virasat Bhi. We are equally focused both on the Vikas means development and also on Virasat, preserving and promoting our rich cultural heritage. It is a matter of great pride for us this year 2023, in the year of India's G20 presidency, on the theme of 4 themes being deliberated upon under the cultural track is protection and restitution of cultural heritage. Prime Minister, sir, since 2014, under your vision, more than 145 museums have been new developed in India, which is 1/3 of the total museums developed by the Government of India in the last 75 years. In India, in private sector and government sector, we have 1,200 plus museums provide a wonderful window to our arts, crafts, technology, and ancient heritage. As per your vision, you newly established Prime Minister Museum, Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya in New Delhi, is one such example where our rich historical past meets modern technology. Sir, you have time and again people of India to visit the museums, including in your Mann Ki Baat episode addressed to the nation, sir. We are working hard to make it a memorable experience for all our visitors by revamping many of these museums and by adopting new immersive and experimental technologies. Today, Museum Expo will bring together all the stakeholders under one roof to initiate a holistic conservation around a museum as per your vision, sir. The Expo will have master classes, panel discussions, physical exhibitions, techno mela, and institute conversion lab and hands-on excavations fit several workshops for school children also. We hope the International Museum Expo will pave the way for very vibrant museums movement and ecosystem in the country. With these words, I once again welcome and thanks our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji for his gracious presence and visionary leadership in protecting our heritage and all the delegates and all the museum organizations. Thank you. Jai Hind, Bharat Mata ki Jai.
Thank you, Mr. Minister, sir, for your address. I now humbly request the Honorable Prime Minister to please do us the honor of unveiling and launching a few key components of the IME 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been wondering what this contraption is next to me, wonder no more as we request the Honorable Prime Minister to unveil the star element of the National Museum, a contemporary version of the bronze statuette of the dancing girl from the Sindhu Saraswati Sabhyata. Prime Minister, sir, what you're seeing is a stylized and contemporarized life-size version inspired from the dancing girl to be the official mascot of the IME 2023. You can also interpret this mascot as a modern-day Dwarpal or door guardian that ushers the audience into the experience of the International Museum Expo. This 5-foot wooden toy painted in Channapatna style highlights the importance of museum merchandise, souvenirs as a keepsake or takeaway, and helps in preserving museum memories. It also encourages more made in India merchandise and memorabilia, adding to the revenue earnings of our museum. It's also an aesthetic way to introduce ancient history to children and adults and make it attractive for them to learn more. We now have, Honorable Prime Minister, sir, the graphic novel, A Day at the Museum, an illustrative concept that explores the history, heritage, and culture of what goes on in a museum and introduces and familiarizes the younger generation to museums in a very engaging manner. Commissioned for the International Museum Expo, this graphic novel has been developed by the Amar Chitra Katha. The publication aims to awaken interest in school and college students about museums, not just as a space for infotainment, but also as a place for gainful employment. The graphic novel is also employed as a unique way to throw light on the manifold educational and career opportunities in museums, be it management, curation, conservation, digitization, photography, etc. We have both Hindi and English versions of the graphic novel for you. The Directory of Museums in India is another unique component of the Expo, styled as the Yellow Pages for the museums in India. This directory provides a census of more than 1,200 museums across the country with facade photos and details of the year of establishment, core collections, opening hours, and visitor amenities. It is noteworthy to recall that the last attempt to provide a comprehensive database was in 2013 by a non-government entity, and there has been no updation since. This is the government's first attempt at making data on museums in the country easily accessible to the public, with a push towards making museums living spaces rather than just repositories of a static collection. We now have the illustrated museum cards to complement the Directory of Indian Museums and also popularize these repositories of history and culture. These cards for ready reference have also been designed. Each set consists of 52 cards and has been illustrated by hand with museum facades of iconic museums from India. This initiative is another way to introduce Indian museums to audiences at home and abroad, highlighting the vast number of cultural institutions. Each card has brief information about a particular museum, acting not only as an informal educational tool, but also as a keepsake souvenir. Prime Minister, sir, we now have a component of the Expo that draws inspiration from a personal endeavor of yours, the redevelopment of the Kartavya Path in central Delhi. Friends, you may recall that the revamped Central Vista was thrown open to the public after the Prime Minister inaugurated it in September 2022. Renamed as Kartavya Path, the arterial road that extends from the Rashtrapati Bhavan to the India Gate is one of the most iconic places in the national capital. This refurbished public plaza now exhibits landscapes, lawns with walkways, added green spaces, renovated canals, amenity blocks, improved signages, and vending kiosks, etc., enhancing the public experience. The Ministry of Culture has in addition been regularly organizing a weekly cultural program titled Kalanjali that offers multiple art and cultural performances to the public, thus democratizing the public plaza. The pocket map of Kartavya Path, which the Honorable Prime Minister has launched today, is a small attempt to highlight the various state houses, cultural spaces, and the Ministry of Culture institutions along the iconic path. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, sir, for launching all those elements for us. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us today the Director of the Louvre in Abu Dhabi, Mr. Manuel Rabate, a consummate museum professional who has been involved in the Louvre Abu Dhabi project for much of his career. He's a highly trained civil servant who rose to become the CEO of Agence France Museums, the organization created in 2008 to run the project with Abu Dhabi. He oversees all aspects of the first universal museum in the Arab world's operations and activity, welcoming more than 2 million visitors in its first 2 years and making it one of the most visited museums worldwide. I'd like to invite him now to please share his views on this occasion.
Namaste, Balrer, bonjour, good morning. For those who need translation, thanks to my accent, you will be able to mix channel 1 and channel 2 at the same time, French and English. Your Excellencies, honorable delegates, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and gratitude that I stand in front of you today at the International Museum Expo 2023 in New Delhi. I want to congratulate for all the achievement that we have seen Shri Narendra Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, for your unwavering support and commitment to the development of art and culture sector. I want to thank my colleagues and friends from the Ministry of Culture of India, Shri G. Kishan Reddy, Mr. Govind Mohant, and Mrs. Mugdha Singha, that I had the pleasure to welcome in Abu Dhabi short while ago. For this moment, I would like to start with the profound wisdom of two visionary leaders who have left a strong mark on their nations, on the world. His Highness, the late Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, once said, "He who does not know his past cannot make the best of his present and future, for it is from the past that we learn." Closer to you, closer to here, Mahatma Gandhi also stated, "The future depends on what you do today." The teaching of both these exemplary leaders encourage us to take responsibility for our action, to create positive change, and to build a better future for the generation to come. Today, as we gather in this expo, at the crossroads of culture, we witness the power of art and culture in bridging divides and transcending boundaries. As we celebrate our shared connections, we have the opportunity, with the museum system, to establish institutions and practices that serve as meeting points for a diversity of culture and people to engage, understand, and respect one another. A spectacular example of this, if I may, is the Louvre Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, which opened a little more than 5 years ago. It is a testament to the extraordinary collaboration between Abu Dhabi and France. It is a new cultural beacon bringing different cultures together to shine a fresh light on shared themes that reveal and connect humanity. This is the first universal museum in the Arab world, and it is guiding us in an intellectual and emotional journey through time and space, unveiling our shared connection and the essence of what it means to be human. India, a land known for its rich diversity, and the UAE, a nation which embraces more than 200 nationalities, share a profound connection in terms of transformation. These nations are in constant motion, propelled by the interplay of culture, idea, and experience. In a very interconnected world, we have the opportunity to learn from one another, to draw upon our experience, success, sometimes failures of the past. As India, with this Expo, is contemplating the future of its museum system, it is vital to embrace innovative models that define the role of museum to bolster its transformative journey. You have fantastically rich heritage and history. You are doing a commendable job of bringing it to the forefront. As a nation, you have made significant strides in showcasing your cultural treasure, and I applaud your efforts. I would like to share a few models, a few ideas for inspiration, not to copy, but to maybe learn from our success and our mistakes. I will propose 8 models or 8 ideas as takeaways that can resonate with what's happening here. First and foremost, I think we have created a new model of alliance, of governance. I'm a Frenchman working for the Department of Culture and Tourism of Abu Dhabi. We have a very strong relationship with the French system, and in Louvre Abu Dhabi, you have both names, the best of the biggest museum of the world, and something absolutely rooted in the capital city of this state. This kind of innovative relationship can help accelerate the transformation. Second model that I would like to share, a new model for collections. At Louvre Abu Dhabi, we span over 12,000 years of history, and we have 600, 700 to illustrate that. These artworks are actually coming for a good part from the French collection. The other part is what is developed and acquired in Abu Dhabi as a national collection. But we also have ambassadors' objects from different countries, from Jordan, from Saudi, from the Philippines, from South Korea, I hope one day from India. And we have invented a model through this ambassador object of semi-permanent, of museum always evolving, of shared collection, which I think is the future of presenting artifacts to the world. Third model, traveling exhibitions. This is a model that can help reaching out to more and more visitors. This is also a way to optimize the cost and the feasibility of exhibition. We are very proud. Today, in the Louvre Abu Dhabi, we have a wonderful exhibition organized by the Musée du Quai Branly with us, called Bollywood Superstar, a short history of Indian cinema. I encourage you to come and see. After telling the long storytelling of India, from the Ramayana to the Mahabharata up to the Bollywood phenomenon, this exhibition, which is touching the heart of the people in Abu Dhabi, will go to Paris in the Musée du Quai Branly, which is another way of optimizing the way we do exhibition. Fourth model, the economic development. The museums are part of the economic fabric. We know at Louvre Abu Dhabi that by attracting 3.8 million now, after 5 years, we have contributed to make Abu Dhabi a touristic destination. We are proud of that, and we are working hand in hand with our touristic colleagues. This is also inbound, but this is also a way of building relationship with the private sector. I'm carrying a watch that we just developed. We're pushing our collection in the world and we are generating new revenue streams. Museums need to be innovative for that. The fifth model is social inclusivity and environmental awareness, which is absolutely resonating with the thematics of the Expo today. We believe that the museum have to work for the inclusivity of the social fabric. We have a few strategies that I would like to share. We invited the elder Emirati to come to the museum, to tell story, to re-engage and to appropriate the space and the collection. We are conscious that there is a financial barrier to come to the museum. We invited the taxi driver to come with 3 persons, again, giving them the pride of opening the museum and bringing people for free inside. We're also working very hard to bring the people of determination inside the museum and to find ways of reaching out. A universal museum has to be universally accessible. And I can only congratulate you for having the translation in sign language, because we need to do the extra steps to be inclusive. Similarly, as a museum open to the sea and to the environment, we are places where sustainability has to be taken seriously and has to be thought. You can see the sea. I'm very proud of our turtle rehabilitation project, and the museum are places where we have to work. Sixth model, mindfulness, kindness. After these years of COVID, the museums are places where we can learn to be together again, and we can enjoy, we can meditate. We are very proud at Louvre Abu Dhabi to give other ways to visit the museum. You can tour it in a kayak because we are on the sea. We're also very proud of organizing a yoga session under the dome. You can meditate, and with the Indian Embassy in Abu Dhabi, we organize a yoga day under the dome. Beautiful moment of using the strength of Jean Nouvel's building to give a little bit of solace. 7 model, education and new ways of doing it. We are very proud of our children museum, in which we're putting real artworks, masterpieces at the level of the children, and we play on gamification. We need to fight with the world of digital screens. We can play with it, but we're making games that the kids are winning only if they look at the artworks. We want to educate the gaze. Finally, and maybe the most important at the end of the day, the model of the focus on the staff development. Museums are changing. We need to accompany this transformation with the ambition, with the number of museums that you have, with the number of museums that you are opening and changing. It's very important to invest in the transformation of the staff. And this is something which is for us at the core. We are creating a new generation of museum